Once upon a time, there was a chicken. There was a chicken, and he didn't want to be slain and eaten and cooked and whatnot. He didn't want that for himself. Because you see, the thing about this chicken was when you woke up in the morning, all the other chickens would start cock-a-doodle-doo, all the cock-a-doodle-doos, you know, woo, woo, making all the fucking noise, right? But this nigga was just different. He would get up and he'd be like, yo, gee, like, does anybody else hear how fucking loud this shit is? Jesus Christ, sometimes he'd have to like go to the other side of the barn because this shit was like piercing, okay? And he didn't want to get eaten. It felt to him like a lot of these chickens woke up and walked their ass right over to the table to get chunked. Almost like they just didn't give a fuck about that. One second. And so this chicken, he felt like the rest of the chickens were kind of retarded. Or at least like most of the chickens were fucking retarded. And he really didn't want to get his head chopped off also. So he decided, all right, look, chicken community, let's rise up against the farmer. And they were like, okay. Farmer comes in, chickens rise up, our boy slips out the back. All them chickens got damn slaughtered. Or actually, they just got riled back in. It wasn't even no big slaughtering or nothing. They just got riled back in. But during all the chaos, all the retarded chickens running everywhere, our boy slipped out the back of the barn. And he was off. Unfortunately for him, the world isn't made for chickens to be surviving in. Not really. I mean, when do you see a fucking chicken in nature, my nigga? Right? See? I just thought about that. Chickens would not survive a day in most of these, in my fucking hood. Where are they gonna get their food? The supermarket? No, they don't sell shit to chickens. They'd eat it. We'd eat them. All right, so our boy is out there now. He's out there in the fucking world. He doesn't know what to do. He ends up in Chicago. He ends up in Rhode Island. He gets a degree in history. And he starts teaching. He's teaching courses on different studies, histories, right? And, he's teaching these courses and he starts to notice that the other history teachers, their curriculum, it's all kind of the same. I mean, he kind of built his from scratch, right? Like he was a chicken. He was from the scraps. right? But he made it to that place to where he could teach from life, like learnings, right? But all the other history teachers that he would see, they all taught the same shit, the same bullshit. Pre-programmed as fucking shit about whatever the fuck they teach, right? And he was like, nah, this shit is fucking stupid. First and foremost, obviously this history that they're teaching is fucking retarded. Because that shit didn't even fucking happen. You know? And so he's like, wait a minute. Shouldn't I be... Because, like, honestly, I'm a way better history teacher than all these niggas. So here's what he did. He called a teacher council for all of the university professors to gather around for a big meeting. And he said, all right, look, we have had enough. They've been telling us what we need to teach. They've been telling us we can't teach LGBTQ and we can't teach other gay shit. So what we need to do is go above and beyond the next level. Let's teach child sacrifice rituals. That's what he said to all of them, and they agreed, okay, let's do it. So they went out and started all that. They all got fired. Now he was the only history teacher. His money, the chickens, skyrocketed. Because, I mean, he just taught his own bullshit. You know, it was off kilter, but it wasn't the pre-planned bullshit, but it was moderate. You know, it was normal. So he kind of like made his way to the top that way. So now we got this chicken, bare bones chicken, was about to get his neck chopped off on the chopping block, was how he came into this world. And now he's on top, bro. History professor numero uno, right? So what does he do with this money? He builds a space station. Fucking space station. He becomes like Elon Musk's friend. And he basically he's like the duo that nobody knew that Elon Musk had until he came along. It was this chicken. So he's building rockets, he's building cars, fucking robots. Sex robots, might I add. Different types of solo, dolo, vehicular, aerial transmissions, different types of, you know what I'm saying? Different types of things. He's building all this technologies. Advanced artificial information systems, regulatory, business profiting, market dominance, right? Market dominance. And so he says, yo, Elon, look, I got an idea. There's a method I've used, and it's gotten me far in this world. Here's what you do. You take what you're doing, whatever it is, and you look at your peers. You look at the people around you who are about the same as you, status-wise. And you gotta gather them around. You gotta get real, like... But first you gotta admit that they're all kind of retarded. And then you gotta admit that you kind of want more from life. And then here's what you do. You gather everybody around, sort of like gain like some bit of influence, and then what you do is you sort of like use them. Either use them for your own gain, or get rid of them using your influence for your own gain. And so Elon Musk is like, dude, that sounds like I never even thought of that. So here's what they concocted. These Dos Amigos, bro. So what they concocted was, they said, all right, telephone, Bill Gates, Epstein, because obviously he's not dead, Trump, Marco Rubio, and Asmongold. Everybody link up, because these are like basically like the high tier priests of society. Everybody linked up. Everybody linked up. And now it's like the 9 like top world leaders, because like the Rothschilds are kind of fags. We all know that. So are the Israelis. Yo, are they watching my phone? No, really, the big two are fucking Marco Rubio and Asmongold. And if you disagree, you can shove a fat cock up your ass. But anyways, they got the main guys together. Like, these are the world rulers. Also, Alex Jones was there. Also, Tucker Carlson was there. All right, and so everybody was there, like the Big 10 or whatever. Hitler was there. He didn't die either, obviously. So it's like the Big 11 or whatever. And so our boys Elon and the chicken are like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tell everybody that we want to split the world into 11 pieces, divvy the population, swirl the population up, and then divide it in 11. Boom. And then each of us all get an 11th, and we can all do whatever we want with our part. And just have fun. It's like Risk. But secretly, Elon and the chicken had made a pact prior to the meeting that they were in an alliance. And so once the meeting ended, everybody went their separate ways. And then it ended up being the two, Elon and the chicken, were sort of like at an advantage, because if you take it fractionally, you see what I'm saying? And so they were like, yo, we actually got an alliance going. This is to Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson, because they were already kind of like buddying up. Then it was the 4 of them. Then they went to fucking Marco Rubio. And once they had Marco Rubio, it was over. And they took over the entire world with that team. Secretly, though, the chicken and Elon Musk had decided that even with the newfound alliances with Rubio and Tucker and Alex Jones, they were still like duoed up. So after they took over the world with those 5, boom, they took down the other 3, and then it was like chicken versus Musk. But here's the thing. They had grown so close to each other and bonded so much that they didn't even fight it out. They were like best friends, brothers, and the world was at peace, and the chicken ruled the world with his bro Elon Musk. And they just had autistic parties, just 2-man parties, like every night. Chicken nuggets, frozen taquitos. My nigga. Alright. Catch you later.